Yo, what is going on, everyone? Thank you for checking out the channel today. Today we are going to be looking at Torterra EX. Torterra EX is a really interesting new EX Pokemon to come out of Temporal Forces. It was an EX that I definitely wrote off after a bit of consideration. I didn't really think that, hitting 180 at max for one energy was going to be enough, especially since you're a stage 2, so you have to go through a lot of setup. However, after playing around with it, I am pleasantly surprised with the level of efficiency and pressure Torterra can put on. So, as I did mention, Torterra is a stage 2 EX with 340 HP. He's grass type. And then for one grass energy, his Forest March attack will do 30 times the amount of grass Pokemon you have in play. And to supplement that, we are playing a bunch of grass energy and one Luxray, which we will get to shortly. So the idea is to kind of just have a full army of grass Pokemon set up, and then we hit for big with Torterra. And then if Torterra gets hit and doesn't get KO'd, because he does have such high HP and a low attack requirement, we can play something like Whimsicott from Temporal Forces. Whimsicott, with its wafting heal attack, says that when you play it from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you can heal all damage from your active grass Pokemon. And then if you do heal any damage, you end up discarding all the energies. So this is basically just an evolution max potion for grass Pokemon, which can really help highlight the strengths of Torterra, being his high HP and his low attack requirement. So this is a way that we can supplement the kind of mediocre damage output, because you do cap at 180. But if you hit 180 twice, you are, two-shotting everything in the format. And so Whimsicott lets you hit 180 twice. And then as a supplemental attacker, we are choosing to play the Evo Press Torterra. This is a one-prizer Torterra that has a lot of upside to play. So not only is he a one-prizer, but he is also our way to reach higher damage thresholds. Because for 2 energies, the Evo Press attack will do 50 times the amount of evolution Pokemon we have in play, not just grass evolutions, which is where the Luxray comes in. And so the Luxray is in here because of his Swelling Flash attack, which says that if the Luxray is in your hand and you are behind on prizes, you can actually just play the Luxray down as if it were a basic, but it does remain his stage 2 kind of evolution stage. So this is effectively a free evolution Pokemon that we can immediately put into play if we do need to reach for more numbers. But this also does give us an electric type attacker to use against something like Lugia. Because for 3 energies, Luxray will do 180 damage and then it does 20 to itself. However, the Luxray does pair really well with the reversal energies we are playing, because reversal energy is a triple rainbow as long as it is attached to an evolution Pokemon and as long as you are behind on prizes. And because we can only play the Luxray if we are behind on prizes, it means that we can put the Luxray in play, attach a reversal energy to it, and then we now have a way to one-shot a Lugia V-Star for 2 prizes, which is really cool. And then the other reason that we are playing the reversal energies is because of the Evo Press Torterra. He is an evolution Pokemon and he does take 2 energies, so sometimes he can be kind of hard to stream. And so we are choosing to play this small little reversal engine package as a way to help supplement the Evo Press Torterra, but also as a way to give us an answer into a really popular deck in the format. Alrighty, and then another big selling point for why Torterra can kind of, survive with the requirements that both of these Torterras need is because of this Grottle. So this Grottle is really cool because it has the Sun-Drenched Shell ability, which says that once per turn you get to search your deck for a grass Pokemon. And this ability has been around for quite a while. We've had this on Grottle, we had it on a Grovyle in Sun and Moon, we had it on a Shiinotic in Sun and Moon, and we also had it on a Sunflora back in the Heart Gold era. So this is definitely not a new ability, and almost every time that we've had this ability in format, it has been good. It hasn't always been great just because of the way that the format's been, but it's always been at least good. Just free Pokemon search every turn is insane. And so once we get some Grottles set up, we can really just start streamlining all of the Pokemon. So like we can just go keep grabbing grass Pokemon for big Torterra. We can keep grabbing evolutions for small Torterra, and just keep streamlining these big attacks with our Torterras. And then we did already highlight the Whimsicott. The other kind of grass evolution support line we are choosing to play is the Toedscroll line. So we do have one Toedscroll EX, which is in here because of his protective mycelium attack or ability, which says that it prevents all effects of attacks done to your Pokemon that have grass energies attached to them. So this protects Torterra EX from getting hit with something like Star Requiem, or Frenzied Gouging from Roaring Moon. But it also means that you can put like a grass energy on your Grottles, and they will be protected from things like Sableye Lost Mine, which is really, really cute. And so that's something that I've really liked. And then the other Toedscroll we are playing is the one with Slime Mold Colony. This is in here because of things like Chien Pao and Goldango and stuff like that, because both of those decks technically have infinite damage output, so those become problems for a deck like Torterra, which is really trying to take advantage of its bulk. And so having this Toedscroll in play with that Slime Mold Colony ability, which says that cards in your opponent's discard can't be put into their hand by effects of abilities or trainers, means that you're effectively shutting off things like Superior Energy Retrieval, Pokestop, and just stuff like that. So you make it really hard for your opponent to like streamline these big attacks, which helps you get some longevity out of your Torterra, which is really what we're trying to do here with the Whimsicott Torterra build. And the last Pokemon we are playing is Shaman. The Shaman is in here because of his first attack, Pinpoint Dive. For 1 grass energy, it does 6 damage to one of your opponent's benched EXs or Vs. This can be nice because, as we have mentioned, Torterra EX does cap out at 180 damage, which means that if you hit into something like a Chien Pao EX, they can retreat and prevent that knockout. But then we can come in with this 1 Prizer Shaman and pick off the Chien Pao on the bench. But it does also have free retreat, which is really nice if we are trying to do something like the Luxray play, because we will more than likely be putting the Luxray into play the turn that we need to attack with it. And so having that retreat pivot is really nice for us. And then as far as the supporters go, we are playing 4 Iono. We have a lot of resources that we really don't want to get rid of. So playing 4 Iono helps us keep those resources while also continuing to draw cards. And because we're only taking big knockouts if we're attacking with the little Torterra, we oftentimes can keep a high amount of prize cards. So the Iono is usually pretty consistent draw throughout the entirety of the game. We are playing 3 Arven because we do have the 1 TM evolution if we end up going second. But the Arven also grabs us stuff like Ultra Ball, Nest Ball, Rare Candy, and stuff like that. And then we are playing 2 Turo Scenario. This is in here for a couple of reasons. One, it can just be a hard reset on a Torterra if need be. Like, it lets you get the 2 Prizer out of play, so you can like kind of streamline the 1 Prizer Torterra depending on the way that the matchup goes. But it's mainly in here for the Whimsicott, because the Whimsicott's ability only works on evolution. So you can evolve into Whimsicott, put this Torterra back to full health, and then you can use Turo Scenario to pick the Whimsicott back up, and now you are threatening another full heal on Torterra. So this helps you create this kind of infinite healing loop that can really let you get a lot of mileage out of just 1 Torterra EX. And then we are playing 1 Boss's Orders because we do have 1 Counter Catcher and 1 Prime Catcher, so this is our gusting effect. We don't really care too much about targeted gusting in this because Torterra EX does cap out at 180, which means there's not a lot of things that Torterra EX can chase down. And then little Torterra, you know, for 4 evolution Pokemon in play can hit 200, which is a good damage threshold. So sometimes you can chase down things with that. And then if you do have like the full bench of evolution Pokemon, you can hit for 300. So you definitely have the ability to take some targeted gust knockouts, but it's really not a super huge priority. And then we do have the one Professor's Research in here, just as a failsafe. If like in the late game we get Iono'd and we have like 2 cards left, 2 prizes left, and we get, you know, we just need to keep drawing cards. Excuse me. And then we do have 2 Artisan in here. This is kind of crucial because we do have a lot of Pokemon that we are trying to set up. And unfortunately, our little boy Turtwig here has 80 HP instead of 70. So we cannot grab him with Buddy Buddy Poffin, which is really unfortunate because everything else, every other basic in the deck can be grabbed with Poffin. So this Turtwig is kind of the reason that we need to play Artisan and Nest Ball, which is really unfortunate. Pokemon, please give us a 70 HP Turtwig. So yeah, we're playing 2 Artisan. In this current format, it does seem like stadiums are sticking around a lot longer, so we can end up getting a lot of longevity out of this Artisan. And it just feels like the best stadium for us to be playing right now. And then, as mentioned earlier, we are playing the 1 TM Evolution. Then we are playing 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Rare Candy because we're mainly a Stage 1 deck, and we really want to get as many Grottles in play as possible. So it's very rare that we're going to want to Rare Candy a Turtwig into a Torterra. But sometimes like in the late game or like the mid game, we might have to do so just as a way to keep up the tempo. We are playing 2 Super Rod. As mentioned, you know, both Torterras do need Pokemon in play, whether they be Grass Pokemon, Evolution Pokemon, stuff like that. So being able to recycle your Pokemon is pretty crucial in a deck like this. And recycling your grass energies is huge because of you know, Whimsicott constantly discarding your grass energies if you're healing. So 2 Super Rods felt really nice. There's 2 Switch in here as well. Everything in here is kind of chunky. The only efficient retreaters are the Whimsicott line, the Luxray, and the Shaman. Everything else has really big retreats, so we definitely need the switches to kind of pivot around and stop our opponent from like boss stalling us. And then, as mentioned earlier, we do have the 1 Counter Catcher and the 1 Prime Catcher as additional gusting effects, and then we have the 5 Grass Energy and the 3 Reversal Energy. So yeah, guys, that is the list for Torterra that we are going to be playing today. There are some changes that you obviously could make, you know, adding in like some energy retrievals. I could see playing supporters like Morty, because, you know, you really don't want to play a critical mass of like researches and stuff, but you do want to be able to draw cards. I have seen some builds playing the Beautifly that once per turn lets you draw up until 6 cards. I could see that being a very good partner for Whimsicott as well, or for Torterra, sorry, instead of Whimsicott. But yeah, we have a lot of different kind of grass support mons that we could pair with the Torterras. You know, we have Rabsca, Whimsicott, Toadscruel, Beautifly, stuff like that. So definitely keep an open mind as to what you want to pair with Torterra. And yeah, guys, remember, if you do like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and then go ahead and leave me a comment down below who your favorite Sinnoh starter is. Mine is Infernape. Love Infernape. He's always been my favorite from the Sinnoh region. So I'm very curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are on who your favorite starter is from the Sinnoh region. Alrighty, guys, I will see you in the gameplay. Alrighty, guys, we did get our opponent for the day. And today we are going to be queuing up with that Torterra EX deck. This is another one of those decks that I am kind of excited about. I haven't done a lot of testing myself with this deck, so the list that we are using is heavily inspired by some other content creators, and that is honestly just because of the fact that I really did not give Torterra enough credit. I did not think it would be that great, and to an extent I was kind of right, because it definitely feels like most builds of Torterra EX are actually leaning pretty heavily into the one prizer Torterra. So it does kind of feel like this Torterra EX is getting bailed out by the fact that he also has a very good alternate one prizer that can be used. So we are going against Lugia, and I do believe that to be very unfortunate, especially given our hand. Lugia is one of few decks that can actually one-shot us just through damage. And we got bailed out by that Iono for sure. So ideally we're hoping to get a grass energy and some Turtwigs. We got a grass energy and some Turtwigs. That is very good for us. So let's see, we prized a Cottony, a Turtwig, the other Toad Scrolls in there, both of the Toad Scroll EXs, all of the Torterras are in there, I believe. We have an Arven in hand, the one boss, the 2 Turos, the other 3 Ionos are accounted for. 3, 1. So we prized a grass. Okay. And like I try to say in all of my videos, try and get in the habit of prize checking. Prize checking does make the game much easier on you as you progress through, because Pokemon is a very like skill intensive game at some points, especially with like the random RNG of just having 6 of your cards put to the side that you can't use up until a certain point. So being able to not only try to mitigate that disadvantage of having 6 unknown cards taken out of your deck, but it also helps you further your play line. It helps you kind of figure out what you're going to do, where you're going to take your prizes from, and how you're going to assess the threats that your opponent is throwing your way. So yeah, our opponent is kind of not necessarily popping off a little bit, but kind of popping off a little bit. He does have, 2 Chinos in play, and he did research away an Archeops, and this Capturing Aroma did flip tails, which I think is probably pretty fortunate for us. I would have to imagine that the way we need to approach this matchup is to use the one prizer Torterra to take out a couple little Cinchinos. They didn't even take a knockout here, which is kind of nice. The Luxray is cool. I don't believe the Arven does anything for us, so I'm actually just going to Iono that Luminion out of their hand. Okay. So now we can Artisan for another Cottony, bench the Turtwig. I mean, I might as well take a knockout with a Torterra EX while I can. And then I'm actually going to go use this. Can't be put into their hand by effects. Okay. So I could grab another Torterra or another Grottle. I'm just thinking about how I want to use these rare candies. And I think right now it's safer to use Grottles. So we're going to evolve into Torterra, retreat, attach, and we are going to Forest March for 180. This felt like the correct way to do this, because obviously our opponent, can evolve into a Cinccino, get the other Archeops in the discard, and then hit us for a knockout. But they would need to dedicate all of their Primal Turbo attachments to that. The opponent does flip tails, so I'd have to imagine that they are probably going to go get the Luminion again off of this Capturing Aroma. No, they're getting Snorlax, so they must already have the out to getting the other Archeops in the discard. Yep, there they are. Oh, that's crazy. So this Torterra is going to get knocked out, which is super unfortunate. Yeah, this is like... Although if they don't get another Minccino down, it does mean that the next Torterra that we use will not get KO'd. Unless it... So if we... if they don't get another Minccino down, I'm actually going to attack into them with the other EX. Because there's physically no way that they can one-shot that. And that might be our ticket to coming back. Because now I'll be able to like Super Rod. Actually, they have the out to the Minccino if they realize it. Wow, that Iona was so good for them. I gave them Ultra Ball, double Archeops, Therapeutic Energy. I wonder if they're going to realize that the Artisan's in play. They don't. That's incredible. Because now the next Torterra EX cannot get one shot. So we're going to go into Grottle. We're going to Super Rod the whole Torterra line. I might not get the Grottle back because we do have the rare candy. Although I'm probably... I think I am going to do it this way. So we're going to go Artisan, grab Turtwig. We're going to Grottle. This Grottle is going to grab us the Torterra EX. This Grottle probably should grab us another Torterra EX. I don't really see either of the Toad Scrolls being necessary in this matchup. So I am just going to full send with the Torterra EX. I'm going to attach, evolve, and now we are going to Forest March. So we're going to take the knockout here, which is really huge, and this Torterra is not going to be able to get knocked out. We did get the Turtwig that we knew we prized. I wonder if our opponent now will realize that there is an Artisan in play. And that they can go grab a Minccino. Although we did KO 2 Minccinos already. And 2 Cinccinos. But it is really peculiar to me that they are not choosing to get a Minccino down. Because that's the only thing that one-shots Torterra. Okay, there's an Iono. That's fine. Because all we're really looking for is a grass energy. Wow, we can get finished off by the Lugia, I suppose. So we have this isn't turned on. So I think we're just gonna go for an Iono of our own and hope we hit a grass energy, because then we could Sun-Drenched Shell for the Cottony. Or the Whimsicott, sorry. So we're gonna go grab the Whimsicott. And we're going to use the Whimsicott's ability. We are going to fully heal the active. We're gonna have to discard the energy. But we did get the grass. And now we're going to KO the Snorlax. And now we are not going to get return KO'd, which is massive. There's the Cottony we know we prized. So I'm feeling pretty good about our position, honestly. Obviously we don't have that good of a follow-up. Although this matchup actually is where the Luxray could go crazy, but we're actually ahead on prizes. So from here, oh, we're gonna boss the Grottle. We're gonna boss a Cottony. That seems weird. That seems really weird. Because now you're just giving me the initiative into your Lugia. That's fine. I don't want that Toedscool anyways. They must have prized some Minchinos or something. Because the fact that they never used that Artisan to grab a Minchino, that's just like really peculiar to me. So now this is only hitting 120, which is fine. We can actually hit 150. I mean, this is always going to happen. It might just be like rare candy, and then we Sun-Drenched for the little Torterra, which I don't hate. What all do we have left in here? We have the Ultra Ball. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go grab rare candy, and then I'm gonna Sun-Drenched for big Torterra, or little Torterra, sorry. We're gonna do this. We're going to go grab, I guess I could have super rotted here, put back Grottle in the 2 grass energies, and then I could have Grottled for Grottle for Turtwig, which might have been better, but it's fine. We ball. So we're gonna rare candy into this Torterra. We're going to put this down, and then we are going to put this Cottony down, and we're going to Forest March. So now we're threatening the 2-shot here, which is fine because it means that even if they like hit into us, we can still just take the knockout, go to 1, and then they'll go to 1, which might actually be bad for us. I could see them going for a boss here. Yep. Do they boss the Cottony? Sure. So now I can take the knockout with this Torterra. $90. No, I can't. Never mind. Or can I? Yeah, I can. It's 200, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because this maxed it out. I recognize this card from GLC. So I know it maxes out at 300. So I mean, our opponent seems like they just ran out of steam, if I'm being completely honest. Part of me wants to take advantage of like potentially using counter catcher here, I also kind of want to put the Luxray down, if I'm being completely honest with that as well. So we're gonna go Sun Drenched. I might just grab like a Toad Scroll or something just to discard it, so I can go grab the Luxray. Although once I take this knockout, the Luxray is actually, I mean, the Luxray doesn't have Fruit Retreat, never mind. But it is an evolution Pokemon. So there's that, I guess. And then, do I have any tools left in here? I don't. So yeah, we're gonna do this. So if I Arven, Countercatcher, Archeops, I go to 2. He can kill this. I'm gonna go Arven. I think I'm just gonna Arven for Super Rod, or for Nest Ball. Because this needs to hit at least 150, which is 5. So I need to have a full. So then I'm gonna grab like Turtwig. Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna do this. So we're gonna Nest Ball, grab Turtwig. Yeah, I screwed this up a lot by like changing my mind like halfway through this. Yeah, I did so much on the fly changing. I mean, I have game now. I have game with the Prime Catcher because this is hitting 180, so we have the knockout on anything on the bench. We finally saw another Minchino, so I have to imagine that came off the prize. If we don't get Ionode here, we win the game. But I really want to say our opponent is out of energies, because they're down 12 energies already. There's another Luminion. Okay, we do have some primal turbo things. We're putting energies on the Minchino. So was that the plan all along, was to hold off on the Minchino until the end of the game? I mean, they didn't even... Okay, no, we just win. Sick. We're gonna KO the Minchino just because I want to. Wow, I'm kind of surprised that we took the dub there, but as you saw in the mid game there, we were really able to take advantage of the fact that Torterra just has so much HP and it's so efficient with its attacking. Being able to get that one turn of healing with the Whimsicott was really cool. Although it was kind of unfortunate that like the support Pokemon didn't really do anything in this game. You know, we got the one Whimsicott heal, but then that was it. You know, the Toad Scrolls were relatively useless in this matchup, and our opponent kept targeting down the Cottonies, which feels really weird. Like, you're getting prizes, I suppose, but you're not really fully accomplishing anything. Because if you hit into Torterra and then I heal, then there's still a full HP Torterra, but I have to get a grass energy. Whereas if you go after the Cottony, there's still a full HP Torterra, and I don't have to go get the grass energy. So to me, that felt really counterproductive. But obviously, you know, my opponent had their thoughts on why that was the correct play and whatnot. Yeah, guys, that was a really fun game. I'm very pleasantly surprised with Torterra. I definitely will probably continue to cook with this list and refine it a little bit. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what Torterra has in its future. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave me a comment down below who your favorite Sinnoh starter is. Mine is actually Infernape, but Torterra is a close second. I've always just been a really big fan of the fire monkey that likes to punch everyone. But yeah, so I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.